Welcome back to GTU. It can be a sensitive topic for some, but it definitely needs to be discussed. And we're talking about social isolation.
Joining us now in the sponsored interview is Dr. Gordon Harkness, Medical Director, Optum, Utah, to talk about how social isolation can impact your health. Welcome, Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Will you explain what exactly that means? And is this for people in facilities or just grandparents?
Well, it can really affect anybody, but a lot of times we're talking about older individuals who may be feeling a little bit isolated, especially during the holiday season, whether they're in a facility or just living at home and alone. The holidays bring all this fun celebration and traditions, and we're supposed to feel happy, but sometimes people just don't feel that way because they feel disconnected from life.
So it intensifies during the holiday season. It can also have an impact on your health. Explain how.
Yeah, so well, for one, some people when they're isolated, they just don't have the mobility. They can't get out like they want to, so maybe they can't get in to see the doctor, that type of thing. But on top of that, what we find with studies that have been done is that people who have social isolation, they have about a 50% higher chance of dementia when they're older, and about a 33% higher chance of heart disease and stroke. And that's on top of depression and anxiety that can also be a factor when you're feeling isolated and lonely.
We really are wired for connection. We need people. It's science, isn't it?
Yes.
What can we do to prevent this?
Well, I think first and foremost is just find ways to get out and build some meaningful relationships with people and connections. Get out of the house if you can, or bring the party to your house if you can as well. I think family and friends are more than willing to come and visit and spend time. I think it's also important that you don't neglect your health. So even if you're feeling lonely, you still need to exercise. You still need to, eat a healthy diet. You need to get adequate sleep. And all of those things help with your physical health, but they also help with mental health.
I often think about my parents, and in this aging process, unfortunately, that happens. And, it's easier to stay home, or it's easier to say, it's more comfortable where you are, but they're not getting that social interaction, or they might be left behind. So I like how you said, we'll bring the party to them.
Yeah, I think it's so important as the individual maybe feeling a little bit isolated or lonely to push yourself a little bit to get out there, and you'll find that it's fun, it's exciting to build those connections and do things. But on the flip side of that, if you know somebody that might be feeling a little lonely and isolated, reach out to them and like I said, bring the party to their house if you can, or make sure that they have a place to go for some of these holiday traditions and celebrations.
Yeah, it's so true what you were just saying. And I think too, in our state, the elderly in my family, once it gets dark early, once it's cold, they are reluctant to go out. So we just do need that reminder, make the extra effort. The holiday, it hits hard at this time of year.
Yeah, it can be.
The great thing with Optum, you have these community centers. They are free. You don't have to have a membership, but there are activities for people 55 and older to connect with others.
Yeah, we've got 3 of them in the area, in West Valley, in Layton, and in Sandy, so 3 different locations, and they have exercise programs with experts in exercise science. There's also just social activities that can be kind of fun this time of year as well. So yeah, getting out, and whether it's with a community center or with a church or some other community group, just find ways to get out and connect with people.
Yeah, such good reminders. Go and pay a visit, go remind your loved ones, or pick up the phone.
Yep, definitely.
Where do we go for more?
Optum.com/UT Centers. So Utah Centers, that's the website.
Go visit those community centers. They're open for 55 and over, and you just don't know how a connection. Yeah, you might go for exercise, but then it's the, hello, how are you? Are you doing okay? Maybe you want to test this or that, and connect maybe on a later date, and then it becomes a routine.
Exactly. As you're out there going, you're going to build connections with people. You're going to make friends. You're going to start looking for people that you've seen in the past. And
purpose.
Yes, purpose and meaning.
Yeah. Good tips. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.